Okay, so today we're diving deep into family dynamics.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, you know it is, right? Like, everyone's got family, or at least had family.
Right.
And, it's not always sunshine and roses.
No, definitely not.
So we're going to try to unpack all that.
Right.
We're going to look at things like sibling rivalry, which I feel like everyone kind of gets.
It's universal, pretty much.
But also bigger family disputes, like inheritance issues and stuff like that.
Sure.
We're also going to touch on divorce, blended families, even family businesses.
Oh, wow. The whole gamut.
The whole thing, the whole 9 yards.
That's a lot to cover.
It is. But luckily, we've got you here to guide us.
Well, I'll do my best.
Yeah, so, starting with that sibling rivalry thing.
Yeah.
We all remember fighting over toys.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who hasn't?
But you're saying it's more than just that.
It is. It's deeper than just the surface stuff.
Okay, so what's really going on there?
Well, you've got competition for resources, for sure.
Like you said, the toys, the attention.
Exactly. But also think about love and just feeling valued.
That makes sense.
And you can't forget the personality clashes.
Oh, yeah, different kids, different needs.
Totally. And all that's happening within the family system.
So it's like a big tangled web.
Kinda, yeah. You got to look at the whole picture.
So how do parents even begin to untangle that?
Well, it's not always about stopping the fighting, per se.
Oh, so not just saying, be nice to your sister.
Right. It's more about understanding what's driving it.
I see, getting to the root of the problem.
Exactly. And there's some cool research on this.
Really? Like what?
For example, studies show that praising kids individually
Okay.
instead of comparing them helps a ton.
Interesting. But so instead of saying, why can't you be more like your brother?
Yeah, avoid that.
You'd say something like, wow, Sarah, you really nailed that math problem.
Exactly. You're recognizing her strengths.
And not making it a competition.
Right. You're fostering a sense of individual worth.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
And another thing you can try is assigning collaborative tasks.
Like what?
Building a fort together, planning a family game night.
Oh, so they're working together.
Exactly. Shifting the focus from competition to teamwork.
So you're basically retraining their brains.
In a way, yeah, you're rewiring those neural pathways.
So those are some good tips for sibling rivalry.
Hopefully.
But what about when things get more serious?
You mean beyond childhood squabbles?
Yeah, like full-blown family disputes.
Right. Those definitely happen.
What are some of those common scenarios there?
Well, as families grow and change, so do the challenges.
Makes sense.
You might have disagreements over inheritance.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Or managing caregiving for aging parents.
Yeah, that could be tough.
Or even clashing values, different life choices.
I see. So it's not just about stuff. It's about fundamental differences.
Exactly. And these situations get really emotional.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So having a structured approach can help.
So where do you even begin with that?
Well, communication is key, like with siblings.
Right. Being open and honest.
But it's trickier here because...
Because there's more history, more baggage.
Yeah, and maybe some resentment, hurt feelings.
So just talking isn't enough.
No, you need active listening.
Needy.
Really hearing the other person's perspective.
Even if you don't agree with it.
Exactly. It's about understanding, not necessarily agreeing.
That's tough, but important.
It is. It shows respect, even in disagreement.
And speaking of disagreement, what about divorce?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's like the ultimate family upheaval.
It is, and infidelity can make it even messier.
No kidding, those are some serious blows.
Absolutely. The pain is real, and it ripples through the family.
So how do people even begin to cope with that?
Well, first, you got to take care of yourself.
Okay, put on your own oxygen mask first.
Exactly. Allow yourself to grieve, process the emotions.
That sounds hard.
It is, but necessary.
And therapy can help with that, right?
Definitely. And lean on good friends, supportive people.
People who won't judge.
Exactly. Just listen and offer comfort.
And you mentioned setting boundaries, especially with the ex.
Super important. It protects your emotional space.
So you can heal and move on.
Right. It's about self-preservation.
And if there are kids involved.
Then co-parenting becomes the priority.
Which can be its own minefield, right?
It can be, but you got to put the kids' needs first.
So no bad-mouthing the other parent.
No, and try to be consistent between households.
Same rules, same expectations.
As much as possible, yeah.
And keep communication with the ex civil.
For the sake of the kids, absolutely.
It's all about finding a new normal.
It is, and that takes time.
And you even mentioned dating after divorce.
I did. It's a common question.
Is it wise to jump right back in?
It depends on the person. No one-size-fits-all answer.
But rushing into things might not be the best idea.
Probably not. You got to process the past first.
Reflect on what happened, learn from it,
Exactly. And be honest with yourself and any potential partners.
about what you're looking for, what you need.
Right. It's not just about finding someone new.
It's about personal growth, understanding yourself better.
Exactly. And if you're blending families, things get even more complex.
Speaking of complex, let's talk family businesses.
Oh, yeah, those can be tricky.
I always imagine them being really tense.
They can be. The stakes are high.
What are the biggest potential problems there?
Well, succession planning is a big one.
Who takes over? Who gets what?
And then there's dividing assets, making it fair.
Oh, yeah. Money can cause a lot of problems.
It can, and then you've got personal feelings mixed with business decisions.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
So how do you avoid those blow-ups?
Communication, again, is key, and defining roles early on.
Like who's in charge of what their responsibilities are?
Exactly, and what happens if someone wants out?
Oh, right, having an exit strategy.
It's important to discuss all that up front.
And get lawyers and financial advisors involved.
Absolutely, it can prevent heartache down the line.
So you're protecting the business and the relationships.
That's the goal, finding that balance.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been a good conversation.
And to our listeners out there, remember, family dynamics are a journey.
Not a destination.
Think about one small step you can take today.
To improve a relationship or address a conflict.
Could be a conversation, setting a boundary.
Or even just acknowledging your own feelings.
Keep diving, everyone.
Until next time.